Hi, this is Pablo Herrera. In this video, we'll take a look at creating and allocating debit notes within the Salesforce billing system. The business case is SecureSmart Inc. booked an installation of a multi-room home speaker system in their facilities for a specific date. Now, the day before the installation, they canceled the service. The agreement states that canceling less than 3 days before the installation day will result in a $50 fee, reflected on the existing invoice within a debit note. The high-level process for this will be first creating a debit note within the Salesforce instance. So let's go ahead and start the process. So we'll click on the debit notes tab, create a new debit note, look for the account which is SecureSmart. Debit note date, and we're going to save the record. After this, we'll create a new debit note line. So we click on New next to debit note line. We'll look for the product, which is the installation product. Now we'll update the subtotal which is a $50 fee. Now remember that the second step for this process is generated at debit note line, which is what we're doing right now. We'll click on Save. After we create the debit note line, we'll go ahead and refresh the debit note record. After we refresh this, we'll see that the subtotal for the debit note itself is $50. Now let's go ahead and change the status from draft to posted. Now the reason for this is just so we can allocate the debit note. Every time you want to allocate a debit note, it has to be posted. We'll click on this quick action called Allocate. Now, here we're going to see a screen for the debit note allocation. We'll select the radio button for the debit note line that we just created. And we'll relate this to the checkbox next to the invoice product that we will schedule the fee for, which is the sound system installation. Remember that the fee was $50, so we have to state here with the amount how much will the debit note represent, which is $50. Now we'll click on Allocate. Now after the debit note was allocated, you'll see here a representation of the allocation, which is the $50 amount. Now we'll click on Cancel. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the invoice. So the invoice represents a $50 debit allocation, and the balance was increased by $50. Remember that the invoice was primarily set by $3,580. Now it's at $3,630 balance, just because the debit note allocation. Now this is it for today. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments, and take care.